everyone, and welcome to our Learn with Sawgrass Wednesday here. And today we are going to dive into our educational opportunities here at Sawgrass. So we often talk internally about what we call the Sawgrass Advantage. We feel that there are some things that you get with using Sawgrass inks that you do not get with any of our competitors. And so over the next few months, normally it's going to be the last Wednesday of each month, I'm going to go over one of those advantages, one of those benefits. We are doing it this week. We've had to shuffle some things around, but we're going to cover it this week. And then next month, I believe I'm planning on talking about support. And hopefully I can have some guests on to talk about our support here at Sawgrass. But I did forget to say who I am. So welcome. I am Rhonda. I am with the Sawgrass Education team, and I am joined today by Rhodes. Rhodes is going to be talking a little bit as well because he's part of our team also. So like I said, we're going to run through those benefits, run through all the different educational opportunities that are available to you. And then once we are done, I will have some open question too for anyone who has anything they want to ask about. All right. So let's go ahead and dive in. Sorry, I closed my browser and didn't realize I did. Okay, so when you go to the Sawgrass Inc. website, if you did not know, we recently changed up our website. We made some changes, and with doing that, several things have become available to you. One are these great pop-ups. So if you are someone who goes to shows, we are going to be at the Impressions Expo in Long Beach starting tomorrow. So just kind of letting anyone know that we do make other announcements here as well. So always check for that. But we're going to focus on what I say is our menu, and that is the Learn menu. And the first thing you're going to see is that getting started. So we're always working to improve how you get started with us. It's something that I'm very passionate about, making sure that customers have everything they need to succeed from the beginning. So this is that kickstarting your sublimation journey. The first thing you're going to see is here, and that is that onboarding session. Now, the onboarding sessions for the most part are going to be very similar. They are multi-person sessions. The only difference is going to be if you need a language session. Generally, those are one-on-one. We do offer them currently in Spanish and French and in Italian. So those are available to you as well. But otherwise, you are doing a group session, and you're doing that with Rhodes. So Rhodes, I am going to turn the floor over to you and let you just tell kind of what an onboarding session is like.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Rhodes. So when it comes to your onboarding sessions, I can share my screen. I don't really have a visual for you, but I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about them. With the onboarding sessions, they're typically for relatively new users to Sawgrass who are just trying to kind of get their feet under them, get familiar with both the printer itself as well as the software that comes along with it. Like Rhonda mentioned, they typically are group sessions, but they're typically a smaller, more intimate group. So if anyone is interested in joining them, what we do is I walk through the different programs and applications available to you as a Sawgrass user. We take time to talk about the design aspect of everything. We go into a little bit of the selling tool built into my Sawgrass, and we do a deep dive into Sawgrass print utility as well. It's also kind of set up to be an open format so that if there are questions for people who are just getting started with their printer or have any questions about how to use a particular feature, they have the opportunity and they have the confidence in order to kind of ask those questions. Typically, those group sessions range from two or three people up to maybe 10 or 12 for a bigger one. But they are a really good opportunity for people to kind of get together, learn from me, and also learn from one another. The real benefit of those sessions is that it's a lot of people who are kind of getting started. Some are a little bit further along than others, and they can kind of learn, grow together, and build a little bit of a confidence base as a group together. And we do offer them every single day, Monday through Friday. And like Rhonda mentioned, there are international ones available in different languages. We've recorded this session, we've put it into our academy attached to our YouTube channel. It's a really nice opportunity. It's a really nice service that we do. It's very fun for me to connect with people and see where they are with their printers. And just, everyone's approach and everyone's learning process is different with sublimation. So it is kind of a privilege to be the first line and be the first person that you talk to once you purchase your Sawgrass printer. If anyone has any questions about the specifics of the onboarding, I'd be happy to go into it. I would also invite you, I know some of you are a little bit more established, but if you would ever like to join one, they're not exclusive to brand new users. If you ever want a refresher, just to see what's going on, you're welcome to join that session as well.
Thank
Rhonda, do you have
you.
anything you'd like me to kind of go over with it?
No, that's the biggest thing with that. Hang out with us. I'm gonna call on you again in a little bit.
Of
But
course.
Rhodes was saying if you are an existing user, there's actually a session that's for you as well. So for anyone who is new to the software, as you are all aware, oops.
Here, I'll stop sharing. Sorry.
I thought there for a second I was muted. Sorry. There was something weird on my thing. I thought I was muted. So as all of you are aware, Creative Studio and the Sawgrass Print Manager are sunsetting. So they will no longer be available after February 1st. It's actually February 2nd, but February 1st, they'll no longer be available. So if you are an existing user and you are wanting still to learn a little bit more about that new software, Rhodes does do a session every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to drop that into the group chat. This is the sign up link for that session. Rhodes, anything you want to add about those sessions that you do on Tuesdays?
I think for the sessions that we do on Tuesday afternoon, there are much larger person count. So there's up to 40, 50 people in some of those sessions. It is a little bit different from an onboarding perspective because the questions and the feedback we get are from much more established Sawgrass users, which can be very helpful. I definitely have seen over the last couple of months when we take questions from large groups of people, there's always questions that even Rhonda and I go, "Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a great question." So the feedback that you get from those sessions as a participant it can be very beneficial and valuable as well, more so than maybe an onboarding would be.
Yeah, I think so too, Rhodes. And one of the things that I've noticed is that we're getting asked questions about specific features. And I kind of love that, where at the end, I'm always telling you that there's something else I need you to
Yeah.
demo. Because there are things that are maybe a little more in depth and aren't on the what we call the beginner track, that a more experienced user may want to know about. So we are able to delve a little bit more into something like custom canvas. Rhodes, you're very correct. Someone asked a question on Tuesday that I had never thought of. So there have been things that I've gone back to our developers with to add to our roadmap. So it is kind of a good place for you because I am in every single meeting about the software. I typically know what is in process, what we have not thought about, what we've done, what we've not done. So it's kind of a good point to pick our brains and learn a little bit. So those sessions will be going on. I think we said through the end of February at least, just to catch anyone who may have not gotten them before the software switches over. And then actually the first one of these workshops that we do in the month of February, I'm actually going to do a top 10. So the features that I think are the coolest as you switch over from the old program to the new. So we're going to demo some of those too in just a few weeks.
And just one other thing real quick, Rhonda. For the Tuesday sessions, one notable difference is that I do go into more extensive depth with the software on the Tuesday sessions. The onboarding sessions are more of a beginner introduction. With the Tuesday sessions, we get into key features and a little bit more advanced workflow techniques and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we're talking about sessions that I feel are really built for new users, Lori Donovan is a user. She is a Sawgrass user. She prints, she presses. If you've ever been on any of these sessions, you've got to hear a little bit about her experience, but she does workshops as well. So she does what I think are sessions that are great for new users and for people who are just continually wanting to kind of refresh. But she walks through the software very in depth, and she does that every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm sitting in on those too. I'm answering any questions you have. But Lori, if you want to drop your link in the chat as well, so people can sign up for those workshops. But those are every Thursday night. There's only a few exceptions where there are other days of the week, but that is every single week. If you ever want to join one of those are really good as well. So while you're here, I want to show you something that we just added. So if you are in that getting started area, there's actually a click here to get started yourself link. And this is actually going to take you over to that onboarding video. So Rhodes did a complete onboarding session. It's on our YouTube channel, which we're going to talk about more in just a minute. But I don't even think Rhodes knows this. But now, if you are on that getting started page, right underneath that where you can sign up, you actually can just go on over. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. So last week, well, I guess I'll start somewhere else and then go there. But we have in-app education. So I have the ability to put educational information right in front of you as you're in the software and you're working. If you've seen a series of polls lately, surveys, that's me. We have put those in there as well. So you'll often see those surveys pop up. That's to gather information for us so we better know what you need. So you'll see those surveys. My goal is one per quarter. We did squeeze an extra one in this quarter. So you saw one last week, you'll see one this week. So please, anytime you give us that information, it's really helpful for us just to know where we need to go and how we need to guide things. But when you hit design, and I don't know that mine's going to pop up because I know I've closed it. But here in the design tool, we've actually added a new feature for new users where it is a bit of the class that Rhodes teaches. It's in a little video. It'll pop up here. You'll see it. You can watch that. It's not popping up for me because I've closed it, and we don't want those ever to be annoying for you. But they are good. This one particularly I love because you can either watch that little snippet that's specifically on the design tool. If you're in the print utility, it'll be specifically on the print utility. And then you also can click a link to check out that full video. You also can see our other Academy videos as well, and then even sign up for that onboarding. So all of these are just great options just to get you that information. All right. Next on the Learn menu is this. This is our workshops that we do every single Wednesday. They are all me this year. So you will see those workshops. Again, the general flow that I'm trying to keep to, and if it's not working, if people aren't tuning in or watching the videos after, we can always adjust it to make it something that people want to see. But generally, the first week of every month is very software based. So we're going to dive really heavy into the software. I'll do a project that uses something in the software. The second week is what I'm calling a business builder. So for those of you who already have an established business or are looking for ways to start one, it's just some extra ways that you can run your, or extra places, extra markets that you can delve into with your business. The third week generally is going to be the How Do I series, which is going to be Chroma Blast this month. I flopped it, so we'll see that next week. And then this week we're going into the Sawgrass Advantage. So that fourth week is always a Sawgrass Advantage. Like I said, next month I think we're going to delve into support and our support team. But today I wanted to focus on the education team with me and with Rhodes. All right, the knowledge base. Knowledge base is huge. It is really a very in-depth look, and this is actually based on me as a support agent. I actually was the one who was kind of like, I wish we had a way to provide information. And we did, which I think is awesome. And I don't know if my suggestion was the only catalyst, but as an employee, it felt really, really good to think it was. But the knowledge base is really great because it's very how-to based on troubleshooting, on how to do things within the system, how to do things within the software. So this knowledge base is a really great place to go, especially if you're new. Under that getting started tab, there's those things like, setting your computer or setting your system up on Wi-Fi. There's also going to be things on our inks, on our paper. That heat press setting guide is a really great thing for new users, just to kind of have a spot where you can go and get a basic idea of what your time, temperature, and pressure should be. So there's lots of great information within the knowledge base. The Academy has moved. You may remember there was an external app that you signed into. We did move it to YouTube to just make this a little bit easier for everyone. There are those Make It With Us videos. You'll see right now we have a couple of influencers who have done a series of videos for us. Both Ivy Pink and Judith have come in and have done those with us. But this is just a great start to finish look at some projects that you can do. We have just added some new ones yesterday. So we have added some Valentine projects that are really cool. And if you want to know what my favorite new project is, it is this Our Song plaque, which I think is just the coolest thing ever. So check out that video. We're going to see it again in the blogs in just a minute too. We also have success with Sawgrass. These are very much getting started videos. So these videos walk through and show you how you get started. They're going to talk about getting set up. It's going to talk about sublimation. You're going to see Rhodes in here. This is where that class recording for the that getting to know the My Sawgrass programs is located. But you're going to see some really good tips and tricks in here. There are some really great things to help you, especially if you're a new user, in this playlist. Now, these workshops are recorded every week and they do go right here into Learn with Sawgrass. So all of our projects or all of our workshops that we did last year are located here. And then these how-tos are great. We'll give you a little heads up. Rhodes is going to redo some of these as we go through the year as well. But these are how to handle a specific error code, how to clean your capping station. They are how-to troubleshooting videos for your printer itself. And then these quick tips. I love Rhodes's quick tips. Rhodes, what can you tell us about your quick tip videos?
So essentially, the quick tip videos are taking everything you have from the onboarding and the migration class, cutting it up into a little bit more palatable, short format style, and then putting it here onto YouTube. So these quick tips are going to be anywhere between a minute and maybe 3 to 4 minutes tops. And they're just quick, easy, digestible content that you can go in, learn about a specific topic, and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Awesome. And then finally are our blogs. So every month, I will be posting content every week. I'm committed to that. I've made it all the way through January, keeping that promise. So we are adding a lot of content in here. At the beginning of every month, you are going to see these project cards. Project cards are going to take you through some of the new artwork that's been dropped into the design tool. And it's going to walk you step by step what you need to do the project, what you need to do to create it in the design tool, what you need to do to print it, how to press it, and then we're going to end with some basic tips and tricks. So we usually are adding at least 5 or 6 of these project cards every month. The first week of the month, hopefully we're a little late this month, but we do have those. And I do want to point out some of our videos, the ones that Judith does for us, when you go into these project cards, you actually are going to see this video. So not only is it a walkthrough, but there's a video as well that walks you through it. And we are able to do some of those in both English and Spanish. So that's a kind of a great little thing that we've been able to add and do there. Now, this was our blog that was added this week, and it's all about using search in the design tool. These are really always going to be things that I'm hearing people talking about and things that I know people are struggling with. So those are those blogs that are going to go up there. And then this is probably my favorite thing that we've added this year are these interviews. And they're going to be with people who are on our team. I have been wanting to run this particular piece of information through for a very long time. Alex Tokarev, who is our director of research and development here, brilliant, brilliant chemist. And I am so glad to be able to work with him. But this really goes into our inks and what makes them special. So this is something I definitely think you all should check out. It is really great. He gave me some phenomenal answers. It's not my questions at all. It's the way he answered them that makes this so awesome. So that's kind of all of the big stuff. These are the educational opportunities that you have. Some of the resources that are at your fingertips. I did talk about the surveys that we're running. We did run one last week specifically around this topic of education to kind of get an idea of what you wanted to see as far as workshops go, as far as other learning opportunities go as well. So that's kind of everything we've got today. But as I said, I knew this was going to be a little bit shorter, so we can move into a Q&A. If you have any questions about anything Sawgrass, anything with the software, anything with your printer, this is that rare opportunity where you have Rhodes and I at your disposal. Please feel free to unmute and ask any questions you may have.
Hey, Rhonda, can I just say one thing real quick?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If anyone has something that, like, if you go to road session, you go to Rhonda's or my class, if we're not covering something, you need to tell us. Whether it's reach out to me, reach out to Rhonda, because we don't know where you're struggling, and we can always figure out which person it fits with, and we can work it in. So don't stay silent. The best thing to do is tell us.
Yeah, thank you, Lori. That's definite. And we often joke about the Peloton model. You may like the way I teach, you may like the way Rhodes teaches, you may like the way Lori teaches. We're going to have some opportunities for some other people to present information as well. And just kind of whatever style fits you, go with that. You don't ever offend any of us. But we are always here and we were glad to share our information. If you haven't heard my story, I am on year number 7. I'll be celebrating my 7th anniversary with the company this year. I did start out with the care team. Rhodes did not. He's one of the few that kind of moved specifically into the onboarding position without being on the care team first. But I was on the care team before I moved into any other roles. So most of us have been. Even Alex that I was showing you, even he's answered some tickets over the years. So any of us will be glad to kind of help you and guide you. And we all have a pretty general knowledge of everything. Like I said, the new software, kind of my baby. I have been with it from the beginning, and I am always the voice of the customer. Even this morning, I was like, I don't know about that, and this is what I think. So I always try to represent you the best I can as far as decisions and stuff. So, all right, do we have any questions today? Don't be shy. All right. Well, if there are no questions, we'll go ahead and wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we will delve into Chromoblast. So I will be doing some printing and pressing next week with our Chromoblast solution. So you'll get to see Chromoblast ink in action. And otherwise, I hope everyone has a good week. Bye-bye.